What's up, everybody? So, wow, SquadUp Summit just concluded. It is unbelievable what my mentor, Pace Morby, Jamil Damji, and all of his team have been able to set up. Like, I can't even believe that we were just at a 3,000 person event. That's like insane. I've never been to an event that large. And not only was it incredible, the best speaker lineup I have literally ever seen at a real estate investing event, and so concise and intentional, including some of my really great friends as speakers on the stage. It was so incredible. So, what I'm going to do today, right, real briefly introduce myself. So, just in case you don't know, I'm Michael Manatskanian. I became financially free by buying over $20 million of real estate in 4.5 years. And so, what I try to do on this channel is just share that strategy with as many of you guys as possible and help you on your own financial freedom journeys. I think nothing is more important than getting at least $10,000 a month of semi-passive cash flow so that you can literally enjoy your life. I don't know if you can tell, but my voice is completely shot. I did a lot of speaking at this event, not only networking, connecting with people. And I'm going to highlight some of that stuff, but I also spoke I spoke at a CoLiving mastermind. I had my own CoLiving meetup, and then I spoke a couple times at for the actual event, as well as I was the roundtable leader for the buy and hold roundtable at SquadUp Summit. So basically gave away my blueprint, gave away every single step, every single thing that I do that has allowed me to achieve financial freedom. And it really started with in-person events. That was the first thing that ever changed my life. So I already understood real estate investing. I was reading books and all that stuff, but it wasn't until my first in-person event that I then got the confidence to actually make my first offer. So I'm going to highlight a lot of that. So in total for this SquadUp Summit recap, I'm going to go over the importance of in-person events and how life-changing it was for me, not just like ones that are 3,000 people in the audience or 3,000 sub 2 members and that kind of stuff, but also the small local real estate investment groups, just being around other real estate investors and how incredible and important that is in your investing journey. I'm going to talk about some of my own highlights at SquadUp Summit, including leading various speaking engagements, winning the Midas Touch Award. Like, what does that even mean? Does it mean everything I touch turns into gold and I make a bunch of money? No, that's not what it means. I will break down exactly what that does mean and why it's the most important award I could have won. And then most importantly, coming out of this event, right? You're feeling it. You're like, oh God, I was feeling it. Some woman was running around screaming when Tim Story was talking. You're feeling the energy, the excitement, the momentum, but how do you not let that die as you go back home? And well, majority are back home now, but how do you not let that momentum die? And how do you maximize that into actionable steps that will actually change your business? It's cool to be on Zooms and be at in-person events and feel excited and motivated, but it doesn't mean anything unless you actually translate that into your business to help you. I mean, why are we doing all this? I was so thankful Cody Sanchez was up there and she just had such an FU attitude about unapologetically making money. I love the causes that I care about. I love providing affordable housing solutions. I love that now I have more money and time to be able to give back to homeless veterans. As a veteran myself, I think there's nothing more disgraceful than someone who served our country not having a home. I think in the richest country in the world, we should not have any single child hungry. For giving billions and I don't even know, tens of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars to other countries or literally anything, even defense. It is inexcusable that we have a single child in our country that doesn't have enough food. And I'm very passionate about the environment. Something most people don't know about me is I'm very passionate about the environment. And with all that being said, at the end of the day, you got to fill up your own cup first before you can fill up someone else's. And that includes financially. There is nothing more important to me than helping people get at least $10,000 a month of semi-passive income so that you can actually pursue your true purpose in life. It's not money for the sake of making money. I don't care about watches. I don't care about Lamborghinis or cars or private jets. None of that means anything to me. I care about my time freedom and serving other people. And other people have even more incredible and amazing passions and journeys and things that they want to do in their life. However, there is a chokehold. If you do not have consistent money coming in, you will have to actively work for income for the rest of your life unless you can formulate that, unless you can create some form of semi-passive income which is why I am so adamant about real estate investing. And as I shared on my roundtable, doing it in such a way that you are doing it with the least path of resistance. You can take longer, you can work harder. I did that for the first 2 years of my investing journey. It got me depressed. I wasn't a fan of that, but I did that. I didn't know any other way. Now that I've kind of figured out this very streamlined, efficient, super investor path to financial freedom, that's the only thing I really try to advocate to people. Like I said, you can work harder, not smarter, like I did when I started out. You can take longer, right? It's your choice at the end of the day. Just understand the trade-off, right? It's going to just take you longer, and that's fine. Like, you can't really change anyone else. So with that being said, just want to quickly intro once more. So Michael Minotskanyan, Wealth Through Real Estate is my free real estate investing community. I provide tons of training on deal analysis, and I'm going to deal analysis, real estate investing in general, how it impacts your cash flow, but also your wealth goals and the various ways to achieve financial freedom through there. Provide personal finance, budgeting, net worth tools in there, free creative finance, real estate investing calculator. Actually, the number one real estate creative finance calculator out there for free. Just go Google it. You go type in creative finance, real estate investing calculator. I'm not just saying that for fun, like it really is. That is Wealth Through Real Estate. And then I also have my super investor community. It's around 70 of us that strong, that are all committed towards super investing towards financial freedom. Once again, that path to least resistance. I can only give away the recipe, right, in a public format or something like this. It's too hard to give away every single ingredient, every single step in a format like this. And that is what the super investor community is for. More so for real estate investors who already have a portfolio, maybe even just a property. They have some financial reserve set aside. I teach you how to maximize your cash flow and minimize your timeline to financial freedom. That's the simplest overview, but the reality of it is leveraging co-living investments and creative financing, ideally using other people's money. That is the only way that I've been able to achieve everything I've been able to achieve as quickly as I've been able to achieve it. And, we talk about my impressive 4.5-year journey. Really, it's the last 2 years that have taken off. It's the last 2 years of consistently taking action and implementing the super investor blueprint that has allowed me to scale from 2 million to 20 million in 2 years, which is insane, right? It is an insane thing to do. And I don't even say that, like I share the numbers transparently and most don't. I think they don't because it sounds like you're flexing. I'm not. I just want you to know what's possible. As someone who did it full-time while I was in the military during COVID, where I was the chief of environmental health, I had little to no time available to myself, and I still made time for it. And then worked at W2 until I hit my over $20 million of real estate before I became financially free. So I had to be efficient with my time. And that is the super investor blueprint. All right. With all that being said, so let's get into it. I want to first and foremost thank my mentor, Pace Morby. He has changed my life over and over and over and over again. He continues to elevate himself and continue to share. And, we had a back and forth while he was on stage one time about I am doing the thing that he expects of us. As a leader, I am elevating other leaders and giving them permission, which is exactly what he did for me. He could have been selfish. He could have not shared his information. Like, yes, there's a paywall, right? He charges for the sub-2 community, he charges for Owners Club. That's okay. That payment, right? What my super investors pay, that payment allows you to be in a smaller group of action takers. That payment allows you to be able to, I would rather pay money than pay time, right? There's only so much time in this world. I can always make more money. I'd rather pay money to accelerate my time to getting the goals that I want. Like, it's really what it is. And I could not ask for a better mentor than Pace, who continues to elevate us and continue to promote us and continue to share so much. He didn't have to do SquadUp Summit. I'm so grateful that he does do it. Last year was incredible, insane, energizing. This year was off the charts. Not only do we have some incredible speakers, I'm telling you, the best freaking lineup I've ever heard of at a real estate event. David Goggins, Stacey Allison. Most people don't know her, but she's the first ever woman to climb Mount Everest. And there were so many takeaways from her. Jordan Peterson, I think that was just for Owners Club, but Jordan Peterson was there. Tim Story was there. His daughter might be investing $100,000 into one of my deals, which is pretty insane. Dean Graziosi, who actually played a massive role in my investing journey. 2023, at the end of 2023, when I kind of lost focus. I can dive into that a little bit later or a different time. I was kind of doing everything like a lot of you guys do, right? We're all chasing every shiny object out there. That's kind of one of the, it's so exciting and there's so many things that we're doing. but that doing everything a little bit doesn't allow you to actually achieve what you want to. And as he told me, I'm killing it. Objectively, I was driving 200 miles an hour down a highway. However, what I was not doing was understanding what am I driving towards and why am I driving so fast and why could I potentially burn myself out and crash, right? If you're driving too fast without direction, you can crash. You might get the results from the outside that look impressive to some. Oh yeah, cool. We went from 2 million to at that point like $12 million of real estate. That's impressive. But in reality, I was doing too much of everything as opposed to just focusing on the right things. And once I did that, that's what completely changed like the trajectory of everything. Why I not only make more, but enjoy more of the entire process and my life as a whole. So Dean Graziosi has an incredibly important role in my entire investing journey and my life. And it's, of course, he's one of Pace's mentors, which makes sense how this trickle down works, right? Like your vibe attracts your tribe. There's a reason why they are so close and I am so close to Pace and why I'm so close to his mentor. It works that way, right? There's a lineage because good attracts good. And I would assume bad attracts bad, but I don't really spend any time or energy with bad. Jamil Damji, shout out to Jamil, obviously co-host of SquadUp Summit, Astro World, and now doing a lot more co-living stuff. It's great to see him doing co-living stuff. Obviously, I think co-living is the way of investing right now. I don't even want to say the future because I pivot based on what is working successfully now. I am not, and Dean Graziosi said this actually better than anyone. The best thing that you could do, and I don't know, I'm like terrible with quotes, but like the best thing you can do is follow a proven path. Why reinvent the wheel? I've never been the guy that reinvents the wheel. What I do is I see, and this is maybe the engineer in me, and Pace highlighted this to me. I didn't realize this. I thought I was this incredible, phenomenal visionary, but in reality, what I am is this high-level operator visionary, which means I'm not going to go create a sub two. I'm not going to go and create a new investing strategy or whatever. What I'm going to do is see what is working extremely well, get that idea, learn it, execute on it, improve it, and then scale it, right? I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. What I'm going to do is see what's working, learn it, implement it. Learning it does nothing, right? Implement it, whether I know everything or not. Usually I don't know everything. And then I'm going to learn as I go and then scale that as it finds success. And if it doesn't work, move on. This is why I have long-term rentals, mid-term rentals, short-term rentals, and most importantly, co-living. This is why I buy properties using cash, traditional financing, whether it's house hacking or DSCR loans or sub two or seller finance or Morby methods or what, like it's because of that. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm trying to execute on the things that get you there. And then what I try to do is minimize the path or try to implement the path of least resistance. And I'm going to put all these videos up there on my YouTube, share all this stuff. I don't even know if you can hear it. I lost my voice. They had us in this room of, 1,000 people. And I had one of the largest tables trying to project my voice to a lot of the audience there. It was hard. It was grueling work. But I'm glad that I was able to share a lot of the insights on pretty much what's helped me. Jerry Norton was there, obviously one of the close people to Pace. Jerry is just a freaking incredible machine. I mean, he is like goals in life. He just went and bought, I think, like 10 plus acres in Tennessee, moved his family to go do homestead living and enjoy their life, still crushing as a real estate investor and all that. But like, he is the one who really combines that enjoying your life, like all the work that you're doing to actually enjoy your life, not just working nonstop forever, which is something I'm actively working on. Two of the biggest takeaways I want to put out there. Actually, three big takeaways. One from Pace, one from Cody Sanchez, and then one from David Goggins. I'm going to just focus on those. The rest, great. If you were at SquadUp, amazing. Someone probably posted about it, but three things. I love that Pace highlighted. This is the first time I've ever seen him do something like this, which is the levels for your investing path. Basically going from the easiest entry to real estate investing, which is getting into single family homes. And then the next level above that is co-living, and basically going all the way to like mobile home parks, multifamily businesses at the highest end. And I love that he verbalized that because it is true. You can make more money doing the more challenging levels. However, it takes more skills and it takes more resources. It takes more time, and it depends on what your goal is. So I love that he shared that, because for me, that's why I call it the financial freedom path of least resistance. Could I go and spend my time and energy on businesses and all that to achieve more cash flow? Sure. But the reason why I educate on Co-living, leveraging creative financing and other people's money is the path to least resistance. That is the most accessible for the majority. Does that mean you need a 100+ property portfolio? No, like why would you do that? At a certain point, you got your needs met, and then you pursue whatever else you want to do after that. I think too many people focus on trying to do the hardest thing first, and it's actually a massive detriment. What I try to focus on is how quickly and efficiently can you get to at least $10,000 a month of semi-passive income. I say semi-passive because you're still gonna have to work a few hours, like a week. It's not that you're not gonna have to work, and that's gonna be on the management and operation side of it. If you are trying to consistently grow it, like I'm still growing my portfolio and my education, so I work more than a few hours a week. However, if you have a portfolio of 10 co-living rentals generating you $10,000 a month, and you don't have to use any of your own money, you can do that fairly quickly, right? If you have that, you can literally pursue anything you want in life after that. And I think people like I love hearing people's financial freedom goals of like $100,000 a month. That's incredible. I love that for you. I want that for you if that's what you want. But in reality, the median, that's like two different words. The median household income in the United States is $75,000 a year. That's working 40 plus hours a week to generate $75,000 of income for a household. If you are generating $10,000 a month of semi-passive income, right? That is $120,000. And if you're doing it right, you're paying zero in taxes, and the cash flow is only one of the benefits. For every $10,000 I have in cash flow, I have $50,000 in ownership benefits. So for every $10,000 a month of cash flow, I have $50,000 coming in from properties appreciating in value and my tenants paying down my debts on my behalf. That is real tangible benefits. You don't get to like go to the bank and say, hey, I want to tap into that. You have to sell a property, refinance it. I guess you can go to a bank and say that, but you'd have to refinance your property. But at the same time as that cash flow coming in, that money that you're using to sustain your life, reinvest in your business, you're also getting this massive wealth building tool. If you don't even know what I'm talking about, please join the free Wealth Through Real Estate community. It's in probably the description of this video or on my Instagram link tree. So at Michael MNAT, it's probably in the link in my bio. I would assume so. So I literally break all that down for you and show you what that looks like. I even give you some super investor trainings in Wealth Through Real Estate so that you can understand the true path to financial freedom and kind of what that trajectory looks like. All right. So I love that Pace highlighted the various levels, and he did say it goes harder. And I would say for every level, like you have to choose. Everything's a trade-off, right? You only have so much time in a day. However, it's very important to understand that accessibility is very important, which is why those first two levels and why the co-living route that I recommend. And instead of trying to be a perfect wholesaler doing direct acquisitions and all that stuff, you can be the one that is just buying deals from other people, like leveraging kind of this path of least resistance so that you can achieve your financial freedom more quickly. And then you can pursue whatever you want in life. If you want to go buy business, you want to go do those things, you should do those things. Absolutely. And then two big things that I want to highlight. One of Pace's favorite quotes is that consistency has no competition. Unfortunately, the reality is I'm very proud of and impressed with every single person that took time, the 3,000 plus people that took time, energy, spent money to come and show up at SquadUp Summit. But the reality of it is only some of the people will execute on the information and the momentum that they put in there. That's just the reality of it. When I was hanging out with Alex Ramosi, I said, I want to ensure that every single person I touch and interact with, I want them to achieve that financial freedom that I want for them so badly. And he told me, you know what, you just can't. There's only a percentage that will ever do that. And that's the reality of it. And I don't even say it as a downer. I'm saying it as quite literally, that's the reality of it. Please, for yourself and for your family, for whatever your goals are in life, for the bigger purpose you have in life, please execute on what you are learning. Please execute on the networking that you are doing. Please leverage the opportunities you have, the amazing mentorship that we have, the amazing community that we have. You know, and I'm really talking to stuff too. Please execute on that for yourself and for your family so you can do things that are bigger and better. I think people are surprised when I say this. I don't love real estate. I don't love houses. I actually kind of hate them. Like, it's work, it's risk, but I care about the financial freedom it provides to me, my family, and everyone else that I can help do the same thing. I don't love being a landlord. Actually, I dislike being a landlord. I love my tenants. I love my team. I love providing great housing to people. I love helping the affordable housing solution or being part of the affordable housing solution. I love the financial freedom and wealth benefits that come from it. Real estate is the best vehicle, in my opinion, that will get you to financial freedom as quickly as possible and build you massive wealth. And it is accessible to everyone. There is no one that cannot do it. You're going to need to implement hustle, money, or experience, right? So you have to figure out where are you at in that. And a lot of people, if you don't have the money or the experience, you're going to have to be the hustle, put in your time and energy to either learn or start providing value so then you get value back in return, usually monetarily, so then you have money, or experience to then take it to the next level. But all that being said, if you are not consistent and you are not consistently putting in the work and consistently working towards a specific goal, it's just not going to happen. And you see it all around you. And unfortunately, being at events like this is already a great filter. 3,000+ people have committed to showing up, spending the money, the time, the energy, taking time off of work, all of those things to be at this event. That's already an amazing filter. And that's out of the 16,000 sub 2 community. That's out of the, we have hundreds in Owners Club. We have people in Astro and all Jamil stuff, people online, right? Top tier TC, Gator, all those showing up. That even that 3,000 people, that is still an amazing filter. There's 300 million Americans. So sometimes it feels like everyone knows this or everyone's doing this thing or whatever. The reality is you're already setting yourself apart massively by being in a communities like this, whether it's through Wealth Through Real Estate, Super Investors, Sub 2, Owners Club, Gator, Top Tier, Astro, Jamil's, he didn't say the name, but Jamil's CoLiving group. Like, you are already in this massive like competitive advantage. You're already in this hyper filter group already. But at the end of the day, not everyone's going to do the work that they need to achieve the success that they want. The filter is great. You paid money. That's the first step. Now you're in this community. What are you going to do with that? Right. And I'm going to share that at the very end. What are some of the key things that I recommend that you do when you are part of these communities, when you're at these events, to then take your investing to the absolute next level? For a second, if you don't mind, I'm going to brag. I had a phenomenal SquadUp summit. I objectively crushed it. Like, there's no questions. Like, what I'm going to get out of this is so like incredible. What I have already gotten out of it, just hanging out with my friends, hanging out with my family, my investing family, because I don't have a lot of people in my personal world that I talk business with, like friends or family. Like, those are not my investing friends or family. They're like, let's go fishing or let's go eat Thanksgiving or whatever. That's very different than my investing friends and family who are all pushing each other to get to the next level. So being able to see so many of my friends who are crushing it, or those that are newer, that are working on their journey, like, it was incredible. It was so incredible to be part of that. I don't even know where I was going. I'm going on a tangent. Oh yeah. So seeing my friends, seeing my investing friends and family, seeing leaders, getting to hang out with people like Tim Story. We're working out, same gym, talking. Potentially his daughter's going to invest in one of my deals now. He loves what we're doing. He's very passionate about it. He's going to be speaking at Owners Club more frequently. Seeing, getting to hear Jordan Peterson talk in person and some of the stuff that he shares. Stacey Allison, I would have never seen her at an in-person event, right? Because Mount Everest, climbing Mount Everest, really doesn't have a lot of things to do for the majority of investing. But she shared some amazing takeaways, put some amazing perspective on it. Them being stuck in a cave, having to drink their own urine is a big problem, a way bigger problem than the majority of us have to face. Most of what we're doing is not life or death, but most of what we are doing at the same time is life-changing. So it's ultimately up to you what choices you make. It's not going to be life or death. That's kind of the worst part about it. Like, no one's ever going to put a gun to your head or force you to invest in yourself and take the actions you need to, for better or for worse, right? If someone did do that, you would more than likely guarantee financial freedom. But because no one's ever going to force you, and it's this slow drip of just time moving on, mindset issue, limiting belief, or not taking action and whatever, you're never going to notice, and your life is going to pass. And you have this amazing opportunity right now to be able to do the things that you want to do, the achieve the goals that you want, but no one's going to force you to at the end of the day. Being in the right communities helps support you, but no one's going to force you to, and that's good and bad. I'm going to leave the pace stuff alone. I want to highlight Cody Sanchez. She was very unapologetically American, very unapologetically make your damn money, make so much money that makes other people uncomfortable. I'm not of that boat. Like, that's not me. If you are, that's amazing. Do that. That's not me. I don't really care about money. I care about what money provides me. I care that money allows me to have time freedom to spend with my wife and baby and whatever else that I want to do with my life without having to worry about money. But I'm not trying to be the next billionaire. Well, I guess I'm 30. I might change my mind. Maybe I do want to, just not yet. That's not my goal right now. And her highlighting Jordan Peterson's quote, before you can change the world, you need to clean up your room. That is so important. Before you can fill up other people's cup, try to fill up your own. And for me, that means achieving some level of financial freedom so that, even when people say 100,000 and I say 10,000, for the majority of us, the majority of people out there, especially when I started, I just wanted to not have to pay rent, which at that time was like $1,500. Imagine having an extra $1,000 a month coming in, or $2,000 a month coming in, even $500 a month coming in. Your groceries are met every single month. When inflation messes things up and your groceries go up a little bit, like, that alone is what you should be working towards. Well, if you've got no deals, having one that provides you some passive income is already the goal. And then on top of that, that is the momentum that it takes. I share this journey. A lot of people know about the 4.5 years to go from 0 to over 22 million and have way more cash flow than I ever fathomed. But my original goal when I started investing was 5 properties in 5 years. And obviously I've crushed that, which is great. But the reality of it is most people don't know about phase 0 of this journey. Phase 0 was me. Man, I go on so many tangents. I'm like the worst talker like this. I should not do lives. Phase 0 was picking up my first real estate investing book, then going into Bigger Pockets, learning how to real estate invest, analyze deals, and then analyze deals, and then analyze deals, and then analyze deals, and then analyze deals, thousands and thousands of deals on a spreadsheet, thousands of hours, 18 months of analyzing freaking deals with nothing to show for it but numbers on a spreadsheet. It took me going to my first ever real estate investment group, and this was while I was active duty in the Army in Fairbanks, Alaska, with 15 other people there. That was my wake-up call. That, wow, in this room of 15 people, I'm connecting with people doing the thing that I want to be doing. Not people in an online forum, not people sharing their stuff on Instagram or whatever. People in real life who were buying the properties that I was analyzing in my local market. And it was incredible. It was amazing to know that it was possible now, but it also fueled a fire underneath me. These people who have been tremendous in my journey, but these people are the ones that have real estate. They're the ones that have cash flow. They are the ones working towards their financial freedom while all I had was numbers on a spreadsheet. And that's when I gave myself an ultimatum right around that 18-month mark. Either I was going to stop wasting so much hours a week, hours a month, hours a year, analyzing deals, pretending to be a real estate investor with numbers on a spreadsheet and nothing else to show for it. Either I was going to make offers and buy real estate, or I was going to stop wasting my time and my life and enjoy more of it, doing more fun stuff, keep working my job, invested in stocks, retire in 40 years, spend my extra time with my wife. Didn't have a baby at that time, but with my friends, all that stuff. Like, I had to choose a path at that point. Either I would stop pretending to be a real estate investor or I'd become one. And that was the end of phase 0, giving myself that ultimatum that I would either do this thing or stop wasting my time. And that's how I started my first property. And that first property was then 4.5 years later, less than that actually. Oh, yeah, my 5-year mark would be May of 2020. That was then what allowed me to massively accelerate. It was that proof of concept that learning, right? You have to learn. There's like a prerequisite. You have to learn. But then being in the right room, meeting people, doing the thing that I wanted to be doing was the activation energy that I needed to actually execute, to give myself the ultimatum, to buy my first deal. And that proof of concept was what it then took to scale to a freaking massive, huge portfolio. So like, that is the process. And that is why it is so key and pivotal to be at these in-person events, whether it's 3,000 events and, SquadUp Summit, or I don't know. I haven't been to Bigger Pockets events in years. or your local meetups, right? Just be in the rooms with people doing the thing that you want to do. That's why it is so incredibly important. And what David Goggins said, this is like so much fuel in my fire. Like he ended his David, like Goggins is an aggressive, he's an aggressive dude. The way he shares his story, actually someone passed out, but they didn't pass out because he's so aggressive. They passed out because he mentioned blood and they're not good with blood. Hopefully they're not on this live stream. Otherwise they just passed out at their home. I'm sorry if that was you, but I say that to say he's an intense dude. I don't agree with the way he thinks. He's so binary, all or one. Like either you do the thing to perfection or you don't. That's the way he shares his message. And I get it. Like I get it. Like 100-mile marathons and I don't even know, maybe it's more than 100 miles. Like that's not me. I'm not that guy. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be a guy on any extreme. I don't want to be the person doing nothing. What he was, right? Like he shares this story. Like obese, felt like he was worthless, had no value in the world. In his eyes, that was nothing. To them, the extreme of I will literally callous my brain and callous my mind, destroy my body to then accomplish these things because I am committed and disciplined. That's also psychotic to me. Love you, David Goggins. But I think there's a healthy balance in between. And this is what it was for me at the end of the day. He mentioned whether you're religious or not, he mentioned kind of a scenario. And you've probably heard this several times, but I really want you to understand how important this is. This is what drives me all the time. And because you're already a real estate investor, because you're already doing the thing more than most people, you'll never pretty much live like a life of mediocrity. You've probably already surpassed that compared to the majority of people out there. However, at the end of your life, whether it's to God or in your deathbed to your family, you're going to have to reflect back and you're going to have to say, did I live up to my full potential? And I don't agree that it has to be your full potential, but did I live a life that I am proud of? Did I, guys, it's making me cry. Did I do the things that I said I was going to do? Or was I so afraid of what other people thought of me or of taking the action or the potential risk or whatever it was that I just lived this life based on what other people wanted me to do or what other people thought of me? Or did I live the life that I wanted to live that I will be proud of at the end of the day? And for me, it's not destroying myself, callousing myself. It is, did I achieve my potential in helping as many people as I possibly could while not sacrificing time away from my family? Was I the best dad that I could have been? Was I the best husband that I could have been? Did I achieve the levels of success that I wanted to? Did I help other people do the same thing? And even if you're not the 100% perfect version where you talk about like strutting up to God and like being proud of like how impressive his stats were and all that, that's great. You don't even need to do that. If you have this goal and you achieve well above the mediocre or average level, you should be proud of that. You don't need to kill yourself in this pursuit, right? You don't need to sacrifice everything for this pursuit of trying to be the perfect version of yourself, but you need to be a great version of yourself, right? You can't be good. I don't want you to be mediocre, but you need to be great. And whatever that means to you, I can't tell you what that means to you, whatever is important to you in life. But please do not be good or even bad because you're so worried about everyone else and what they think, and you're letting people control your life, whether it's directly or indirectly. Please do the thing that you want to be proud of at the end of your life. And it's hard to say what that is, but for you guys, the majority of you guys, you're real estate investors. You're not really watching me. I don't put out viral content. I don't put out like hocus pocusy. Like I don't do that. I really try to share actual things that help people out based on what I've done and what I've learned. And so a lot of you guys are real estate investors that want to be financially free. Like that's how we are in this community, this ecosystem together, right? So are you doing the things that you need to be doing to achieve your financial freedom and not overly sacrificing, right? There's going to be a period. There's always the hustle period. I did it for 10 years. I had my hustle period. I'm still hustling, probably more than I was before, but there's always a hustle period. You're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices. I did between health, family, relationships. I did for the sake of financial freedom. And I mean, I still have the most amazing wife who's extremely supportive of me. I have a phenomenal family, daughter, in-laws, family as a total. All that being said, you're going to have to hustle your butt off. And I just want you to focus on living a life where you are proud that at least you met this great version of yourself. Don't worry about being perfect. It might even come at a massive cost. Usually it will. If you want to be perfect, there's a trade-off in life. To be the perfect version of yourself, it's going to come at a trade-off or a cost that maybe most people are not willing to pay. But to be great, it comes at a trade-off, but it's a much easier trade-off, much more digestible trade-off. I want to live a life of, I don't know, because I'm contemplating this. I do want to live, not the perfect version of myself, but I want to live great plus, right? Like I have this goal to living great or more, I guess is where I'm at right now. So all that to be said, please do not allow other people to impact your pursuit of great, whatever that means to you. And in my opinion, the best way to get there is to set a financial foundation where you are at least making 5, 10, maybe for some $20,000 a month semi-passively in cash flow and generating $50,000 to $100,000 a month in wealth building. So if I can help you do that, that's my only goal. That's my biggest goal. And actually that ties back into me. I don't even brag about myself yet. So I will. I spoke at my first ever CoLiving mastermind. It was maybe around 20 minutes. I thought I did terribly. That's just the way my brain works. Like, oh, I could have done this better. I could have done that better. See, like people see it from the outside, like, oh, this guy's killing it. Object, whatever. No, there's always limiting beliefs, right? Pace says new levels, new devils, right? There's always new limiting beliefs, new concerns, new whatever. But I spoke at this event and I was concerned with, oh, how did I do? Whatever. Or did I share the things that I want to? Did I speak too quickly? Did I not pause enough? Did I share all the insights that I wanted to? Did I detract too many times? Did I lose my train of thought? All these things. But then people kept coming up to me and up to me and up to me saying, man, that was so incredible because of how authentic I am, how truly passionate about all of this that I am, how much I actually care about serving and helping other people. And even then, I had a question Q&A back and forth with Pace at SquadUp Summit, and I expressed I've done all these amazing things in real estate investing. I help leaders in Owners Club, leaders in Sub 2, everyone. And I try to help everyone in general. I have this community of 1,000 people in our free wealth through real estate community as well. And I still always question, am I doing enough? Am I having a big enough impact? Am I helping as many people as I possibly can? And in reality, there's only so much time in a day. I wish I could show you. I'm not even a social media guy. So it's already outside of my comfort zone, but like hundreds of messages and text messages and direct messages and all these questions and all that. And I want to have a bigger and more impact. And I question that all the time. And I asked that question and Pace said, you're doing enough. You're crushing it. Your momentum's continuing to build. You're like, I see all this amazing bubbling up and I'm jealous of where you're at in your stage because that's the most exciting part. But I still have those limiting beliefs. Am I doing enough? Am I helping enough people on this journey? Because that is what I care about more than anything else. I care about helping other people way more than I do about real estate or houses, right? But real estate has allowed me to get to this point where I can do that now. And it's the most successful path for you guys, for the majority of you guys to do that as well. So please, real estate as an asset, as an investment is incredibly important. Real estate like houses, I don't care about houses. Like I care about my first house as a first generation American to own land, like to own something, own property or land in this amazing country that I'm so proud to have been born in and so grateful that I chose to serve in our country, even though I came at a massive pay cut. Like, yes, there's pride in that ownership, but like adding another house, it like, that doesn't serve me. That doesn't benefit me emotionally, fill my cup up the way I want it to, as does helping other people do the same on their path to financial freedom. But then within like 30 minutes of me asking this question, I feel like I'm not doing enough. How can I help more people? I was then awarded the Midas Touch Award. And out from outside looking in, the Midas Touch Award, wow, everything this guy touched turns into gold. He makes so much money. He makes all those things. $22 million portfolio. They're celebrating that. That's not what it is. It's even more beautiful than that. It was a peer nominated award in the Sub 2 community, over 16,000 members. I was nominated and awarded the Midas Touch Award for being recognized as having the largest impact within our community, helping as many people as possible. Someone who's constantly worrying, am I doing enough? Am I helping enough people? Am I serving enough people the way that I want to be serving them? Limiting beliefs. And then to be recognized with a Midas Touch Award, literally almost cried up on stage 2. Now you guys are getting the emotional side of me. Sorry, but like, maybe it's because I lost my voice. So like, I don't know, but I say all that to say, I get it. Whether it's, I don't know how to analyze deals. I don't know how to find deals. I don't know how to invest like, or buy and hold, or I don't feel like I'm doing enough. It happens at every stage, and it's just like the reality of it. Whatever you're trying to pursue, if it's new, you're gonna. I don't feel that way about real estate anymore. I don't even care. I know I'm crushing it. I know we're doing well. I even slow down so that I mean I'm still buying deals actively, but I even slow down on that because that's not like the metric that I care about the most. But there's always these limiting beliefs. There's always these issues, these concerns, and if that doesn't just show you how sometimes from the outside looking in, wow, this guy's crushing. He's killing it. This portfolio. Um, but then to see like, hey, I'm dealing with my own struggles. I'm dealing with my own issues. I'm dealing with my own limiting beliefs, my own concerns. Like it just happens. The reality of this. If you want, like, what do they say? Like ignorance is bliss, right? Like if you don't want to have these problems, like don't be an entrepreneur. Don't pursue these things where there will always be new problems. And that's the cool part. Like we are choosing a life of continual problems and continuing challenges and continuing obstacles and things to learn and implement. I mean, at one point I could just cut off. I guess I could stop doing everything and live the rest of my life like this, but that's not like I'm not wired that way. So I actually can't do that. I will always pursue work and serving others. Like I just cannot, but it's for me, it's the balance of it. And there will always be new things I have to overcome. Right now, social media, God, doing this kind of stuff, this is not in my comfort zone. Yes, I'm an extrovert, but it's more people like talking to a freaking camera. I wish I could see all your faces. I wish I could be in a room. A lot of people who were there at my meetup, at the round table, the buy and hold round table, you see my passion, my desire in person above everything else. Or how do I? There was a woman that came up to me. I'm not going to name her, but she came up to me at the CoLiving event and she said, I don't know if you know this, but you changed my life at last year's SquadUp Summit. I came into SquadUp Summit. This is another reason why it's so important to be at these in-person events. I would have never thought, like, she told me that even before I got this award. And my question was literally to Pace, how can I have 100x impact to help serve more people? It's crazy. Like even people saying it, you're like, I'm not doing enough. I want to do more. But she came up to me and said at the CoLiving Mastermind before the event even started, you changed my life last year. I got a ticket. Like I barely joined Sub 2 and I got a ticket to go to SquadUp Summit, but I didn't think I deserved to go. I didn't think I deserved to go, so I wasn't even get on the plane. But, I decided I was going to. She got there at the event, but then she didn't feel worthy or deserving of connecting and collaborating and working with other people and talking with other people. So she was a wallflower. She was standing there. It makes me so sad. I hate that she had that she felt that way. She just stood there and was thinking, all these people networking. And this is the most networking event. SquadUp Summit last year, this year, there's no more networking in these events. I've never been to an event like this. And she didn't feel deserving of being part of those conversations. And I went up to her because as I always do, I love to go up to people who are kind of on their own and just see if there's any way that I can help them. And I said, hey, I'm Michael Mnatskanyan. What's your name? What are you doing? What am I doing? Going back and forth, just that conversation alone. So that conversation that we had together completely shifted her mindset. And at that point, I was already known in Sub 2. I think Pace said my name like 15 times, if not more, at last SquadUp Summit. So she knew who I was, and she thought to herself, wow, if this guy came up to me and is willing to talk to me and help me, and I've given nothing. I don't even know this guy. He doesn't, why would he give me anything? That helped open up her mindset. Maybe I am worthy. Maybe I am deserving. And took her completely out of her freaking shell. She is joined Owners Club, Sub 2. She's crushing it. And she is now that person to other people. That ripple effect, that's why it's so important to be at these events, because you might be the wallflower, might be the person that changes the wallflower's life, or it might be the person making a bunch of money, doing a bunch of deals, or it might be the person that I kind of did it all at this one. I mean, I crushed it with awards. I helped a bunch of people. A bunch of people helped me. I make a ton of money from this event. I already have, and I've building relationships with incredible people, leaders. Took my cool photos with Tim Story. Had a great conversation with him. Whatever. I don't even care about that stuff. Like that's cool. Like that's all cool and aspirational, like those guys, right? But that's not really what's going to change the majority of our life. They're motivational, but it's doing the deals, doing the work with each other, helping each other with your own limiting beliefs, helping each other overcome and push forward in your whatever you're going through. Like that is what it's all about. So please, if I can ask you for a favor, if you're watching this live, please drop a comment. What was some of your biggest takeaways? If you have takeaways from me, I mean, I hosted a roundtable with a ton of people, had the CoLiving Mastermind that I spoke at, I had my own CoLiving meetup. If there was something from me that really resonated with you, please share that with me. I love I'm selfishly saying this. Like, it used to be like another $500 a month of cash flow was like that was my thing. That was what drove me. Now it's hearing how I'm helping and impacting other people and some takeaways because I don't even know. I just like talk off the cuff. I don't have a plan. I'm not a great speaker. I can talk a lot, but I'm not like a great speaker or a storyteller. That's not my strength. So you sharing what impacted you would be tremendous. And if I don't have a direct impact on you, that's fine as well. Please share what was one of your biggest takeaways because you never know who else could be reading that and they get a massive takeaway that resonated with you and they're like you, right? Your vibe attracts your tribe, or everyone's different, but that there's a lot of similarities as well. Maybe there's someone who is introverted, extroverted. Maybe you're an integrator or a visionary, a deal analyzer, a TC, or whatever your avatar is, whatever your strengths or weaknesses are. You might share something that massively benefits someone else that you would have ever, like, you would not have thought that it would. So please share your takeaways because you might be that impact on someone else. All right. 3 more key takeaways, and then I'm going to share kind of what you need to do now to impact your business. I think I shared like a million things that you can do to impact your business actionably, but hearing 3 of my good friends and one of the most like incredible people, Nita, Doran, and Justin Tumanowski, hearing them on stage, I am so thankful that I have a mentor, a leader. A lot of you guys have the same mentor or leader that not only hosts the most incredible real estate investing events with so much networking, gets Barry Bumgarner to actually set up the event, who is just a killer. She's like the best person to set up in-person and virtual events. The New Reach team crushes it. Their team is so loving and caring and truly cares to provide so much value to people. But then to put on some of the leaders in the Sub 2 and Owners Club community to speak on stage and share their stories, because it's great going to events where there's these aspirational people, a Cody Sanchez, a Goggins, a Pace, a Jamil, a Jerry, a Tim Story, these guys who have done the thing and are like 50 levels ahead of us. But you know what's even more important? When you hear the people that are in your communities that you've seen over the last year or 2 or 3, or have just started their journey or taking things to the next level, hearing them and their story, hearing their transparency, like from Nita Patel, hearing Doran's struggles. If you were there, he compared real estate investing success to being pregnant. I'm not going to get into that because I don't think I should say that on YouTube, but it was hilarious. And just understanding that success, no one knows how, I guess I'll say screwed. No one knows about all the times you got screwed. They only see the success at the end. And him sharing some of that, Justin Tumanowski sharing some of his own personal struggles and his own childhood struggles. And he's like me. He's not overly emotional, especially in a public setting. I am, because Anita now, I'm so much more sharing things that I would otherwise, because it might help and impact someone else who's dealing with the same things. Like I said, objectively, it looks like I'm crushing it with real estate finances. Yes, but there's a lot of things we're all dealing with, and it's important to have the transparency and share that, especially with people that are closer to you and more relatable to you. So the fact that Pace and Jamil recognized 3 leaders, Nita, Doran, and Justin, to come on stage and talk, and had roundtables and people on stage. I guess I can't say everyone, but to have them on there and share what's working, what's not, their personal journeys, their trajectories, and having them on stage and highlighting and recognizing them. He highlighted my ability to raise a ton of capital and bring on a huge amount of our Sub 2 and Sub 2, family and my super investor community, and, Wealth to Real Estate guys, getting all you guys and providing some of you guys investment opportunities, all that, ability to raise capital, bringing you on deals. No one does that stuff. Like, I don't even think we are so, especially if Sub 2 is the only investing community I've ever been part of. Especially we're not part of the bigger pockets era. They shut down leaders. They shut down people who are getting elevated and becoming a name. They kick them out. They don't want them to be part of the journey. They even literally fired their actual leaders in their bigger pockets. Like, in the bigger pockets, they're like key speakers. A lot of them are gone. They were turned over because they got too big. And then not only does Pace highlight, he celebrates and encourages that leadership. He brings you on stage. He gives you opportunities to talk, share a story. He had 40 roundtables, right, for a variety of different strategies, led by us, led by leaders in the community, to then help other people and to help create more leaders and more financially free individuals. This is like unusual. I have no idea. I think virtually 0 other people do something like this. So to have our mentor do that and to highlight that and to celebrate that and to encourage that and to elevate that, I'm just so thankful that he is my mentor. And I know a lot of you think that as well. And I just feel that way nonstop. So takeaways. All right. I gave you a million takeaways, but reality, like now's the reality of it. You had fun at the event. It was great. It was energizing. It was aspirational. You made some great connections. You don't make money. Oh, I guess some of us made money at the event. I made money on the event. I closed the deal, raised capital. Tim Story's daughter might be investing in one of my deals. Whatever. Yes, you make money at the event, but the real money, and I say the money because that's how you're gonna get your financial freedom. Like the real money, the real reward from these events is what you do afterwards. There's only so much you can do at a 3-day event. It's what you do with that information, those connections that you made. Are you gonna actually follow up with them? And it's not texting every single person that you blinked with and try to just exchange a text message and say, hey, yeah, now it's who did you build genuine relationships with? Who is actually key and important to your goals right now? Who do you need to build more of a relationship with? Following up with those people, pursuing those people, and working and collaborating with those people. I have my own list of 20 people that I need to talk to now to then actually do some things with each other. Like actually make money, help each other, collaboratively take our businesses to the next level. You should have that list of people. I know you made 100 connections, you took 1 billion photos, and you have 1 million new people on your Blink, but who are those 5 to 20 people that are in most alignment with what you are trying to pursue and what you are doing that you need to build a genuine relationship with now? Build that relationship. You already had the head start, the in-person connection. Build that relationship now and take your investing to the next level with them. Now is time to be consistent. I don't care what you did at the 3-day event. Honestly, it's amazing. Squad Summit was incredible. But what really matters is, are you going to be consistent now? Did you just go and you're on a buzz and you have this amazing time and you build, you have some momentum? Carry that momentum into your actual business and your life, because it is so freaking easy, as Dean shared, to put on the news, have your naysayers, have the wrong people in your environment that are going to drag you down or drag you back to where you were used to. Leverage this as the activation energy, the spark that being at my first meetup was for me. Wherever you're at in your business to take things to the next level, turn off the noise, turn off the shiny objects. You can be successful in anything in real estate if you are consistent enough and you have a great goal. However, you cannot be successful at everything, at least not at once. And that's what I really harp on with my super investors. Focus. I mean, I want to even use the word berated, right? Like I literally get angry, not at an individual, but collectively because of, and I'm talking to myself usually. When I feel the most lost is because I'm trying to do too much of everything, not hyper focusing on the things that I need to at this moment. For a lot of you, generate some passive income. Leverage the relationships, the genuine relationships you have from that event. Leverage the momentum. Shut off the noise. Shut off the shiny objects. Pursue what aligns with you, calls you the most, like what provides you the highest calling. Focus on the level that you feel like you are ready with, that Pace shared, the various levels. And some of you are going to skip it. You're going to go to RV parks directly. You're going to go to businesses, and that's fine. Like, pursue that. Like, that's not me. I'm not the guy to help educate with you. There's phenomenal leaders out there that can help you with that kind of stuff. For me, path of least resistance to get there quickly, successfully, and make sure that I'm not compromising my family and my life, my health, and my enjoyment. So those are the big takeaways. I think I could summarize it one more time for you if you need me to say it again. But leverage those genuine relationships you built to then actually do business with those people. Focus on what is key to you and your business right now to take it to the next level, because there are a million ways to make money in real estate. There's a lot of shiny objects. Focus on what's going to matter. And if you can, for my personal takeaway that I shared throughout the event, path of least resistance to become financially free so that you can fill up your cup and start filling up others. In August, and this was a one-on-one takeaway from Pace, me and him just talking together. He literally changed my life then. He's done it like 10 times. Every time I'm at a new level, he helps change my life and elevate me to the next level. That's why I want to share these things with you guys, because not everyone gets the opportunity to meet with Pace individually. I almost retired in August of 2024. I quit my job. I retired. They wanted me to come back in person. I said, I got a baby. I'm not going to do that. I already had way more cash flow in real estate than I ever anticipated that I would still be working, but it was hard to pull the trigger until they put my back against the wall. And I said, I'm literally not going back in office. So it's better that I don't work here than work here. So I didn't. But then I thought, okay, well, I've got all the money that I need. I've got way more for my family than I ever anticipated that I would. Got way more than the 5 properties and the $7,500 of cash flow that I wanted to feel financially free. So I almost retired. And Pace literally almost came through the screen and like beat me up for saying, bro, like you did kind of the hard part of real estate investing, which is filling up your own cup, generating your own financial freedom. Now that I have all of this momentum, all of these resources, all of these skills and experience, now is the most fun part. My real estate investing only gets easier and easier and easier as you build on momentum. Remember that phase 0, I was here. Maybe it was a little bit because of learning, and then it grew and then it skyrocketed. That's literally how it works, and it will continue to go. As Pace said, I'm in that bubbling phase where it's going to only get easier, and my impact is only going to get bigger and bigger because I have all this momentum. But you have to understand that's the process for you as well. I'm not unique. I'm not special. I'm literally just another dude, just another person. We're no different. You can do it too. It is going to take time and consistency. But going back to what Pace said, now is the fun part. It's no longer about pure profit. I need money. I need to make sure that I am doing what I need to for my family. That is my number one goal. Now I can also implement my own passions and do it for other people and to help people in my causes. As he told me, if I retire now, I can go clean up beaches or feed a few, hungry children, or I can leverage everything that I have now to make more money, to grow a larger impact and have a much bigger impact on the causes that I care about. And that final cause is what caused the biggest cause for me, I think overall right now, is helping other people achieve their financial freedom so they can leverage this one beautiful, unique life that they have to then do whatever truly matters to them in life. When you are struggling paycheck to paycheck, or you are focused on, I need to hunt, like you only eat what you kill, and you have to constantly be in a hunting phase as a wholesaler, a fix and flipper, or whatever it is. If you don't have that passive income, it's really hard to be the best version of yourself when you're constantly worried about money. So me helping people at least hit that foundational piece so that you can pursue what truly matters to you afterwards, please do that. That's why I highlight the path of least resistance. I'm not saying there are not easier, or I'm not saying there are not more profitable ways to do it, but this is my super investor path, right? I'm not saying you should join super investors. It's kind of heavily filtered. It's not for everyone. But I am saying take the principles that I shared with you to pursue your financial freedom, fill up your cup, right? Clean up your own room so that you can help change the world. And that is so much easier when you no longer have to worry about your own finances. Thank goodness I have a mentor like Pace who shook me and changed me so that now I've had this incredible impact, scaled Wealth Through Real Estate to over 1,000 members. And that's with little to no marketing. You guys are sharing with each other because I provide so much free value in the courses. And that's just the start of it. It's going to get even better. My super investor community, obviously the Midas Touch Award for impacting our sub 2 communities, our owners club communities. And now through YouTube, live streams, Instagram, all of those things, you're going to see a lot more of me because I understand the impact I can have. And I'm no longer going to allow my fear of what other people think to minimize me and not allow me to achieve my greatest version of myself because of the fear of what other people think. So with all that being said, you guys got this. I love you. Pursue your own financial freedom first and foremost. You will change the world along the way, but what you'll be able to do afterwards is even more beautiful and incredible. Because whether you're doing it because you love real estate, like my guy Justin Tumanowski, who literally loves houses, loves the house, the way he talks about houses, I don't even care. I just don't care. For me, it's incredible for him. For me, it's not ever been about the house, the physical structure, financial freedom, so that I can do whatever I care about in life without concern. And for me, family, the causes that I care about, and to not have to worry about money, that's what it's all about. You guys got this. If you're not yet following me on Instagram, please do so. It would mean a lot to me. I'd genuinely appreciate it. It's Super Investors REI. It's in the bottom right here. If you're already watching on YouTube, please subscribe. That'd mean the world to me. Instagram at Michael M Nat, M-N-A-T, right? Once again, I see it right here. It's right there. I think if you type in at Michael M, might be one of the first, or MN, you'll see me there. Please just, that's all I ask for. I just want to help you guys out. If you're not in the free Wealth Through Real Estate community, You are missing out on literally some of the best free education there is out there on financial freedom through real estate investing and lending and stocks, but really through real estate investing, free real estate investing calculators, free courses on deal analysis, understanding different acquisition strategies, management strategies, free deal analysis trainings. And it's only the start. I'm going to provide so much more of that value to you all. So, and if you think you're the right fit to be a super investor, you have some real estate, you have some reserves set aside, and you want to accelerate your path to financial freedom by supercharging it through the Super Investor Blueprint, really that path of least resistance, then reach out to me. Let's connect, because I will probably be opening up for a few more people. Really, right now, it's just the people my community is already connected with and they think would be a good fit is what I'm primarily focused on, because they are my tribe. They understand my vibe. We got all the same vibe. They are my tribe. I trust their judgment. If you think you're a good fit, just reach out to me. I've presented and spoken and lost my voice so many times over the last several weeks. So, or the last week, that you already know if you're kind of the right fit or not. If you're not, it's all right. Join the free community, make some more money, get some more deals under your belt, and then we can talk about you scaling in the future. If you are ready to leverage creative financing, co-living, and capital raising to maximize your journey to financial freedom, then let's talk about super investors. With all that being said, love you guys. See you next week. All right. Appreciate you guys.